this one is called Texas in My Heart. You can find it on any of the digital platforms, and I hope you guys enjoy. On my way to freedom, baby, coming back again to live with you. The loving care of all your people, the Lone Star flag, red, white, and blue. Thank you for the many blessings, allowing me to share experience and art, and all the fellow Texans that help me to build a bond no one can take apart. The guys that connect your cities, give a sense of liberty and peace of mind, reminding me of all my struggles and why this day I'll never leave behind. Texas always in my heart, personal victories and crazy stories, where everything is cheap or free of charge. You stay forever in my memory. Texas always in my heart, personal victories and crazy stories, where everything is cheap or free of charge. You stay forever, forever in my memory. Crazy weather down in Houston, the rain is flooding my entire yard. But I know if it storms all night, the morning sun will come and dry it all. And can't forget that night in Austin, when I discovered this beautiful love. I traveled many miles searching, and I settled between Dallas and Fort Worth. Don't fool around, don't mess with Texas. The cowboys are ready to defend this land, a true beacon of independence. When I live in Texas, I am a free man. But Texas always in my heart, personal victories and crazy stories, where everything is cheap or free of charge. You stay forever in my memory. Texas always in my heart, personal victories and crazy stories, where everything is cheap or free of charge. You stay forever, forever in my memories, forever in my memory, forever in my heart, forever in my heart. Thank you. It kind of like it's a little bit more upbeat, you know, in the production. Since it's kind of like an intimate state, I kind of like did this version, which is a little bit toned down. Hope you guys enjoy it. So a little bit about myself. I was born in Santa Clara, Cuba. Right, Santa Clara is a small city in my country, and we're kind of like very inclined to the art scene, right? So I grew up around a lot of songwriters, dancers, artists. My city has this colonial design where everything that is fun, or is there's anything like the theaters, anything that is worth seeing in the city is in the middle. So it's kind of like a circle, everything is right in the middle, and then the suburbs are around, right? So everybody just travels to the same places, right? That's kind of when I started writing my own music, you know, surrounding myself with, you know, all the songwriters from my city. Then I moved to Miami, Florida. In Miami, Florida, when I went to school, and I started a little bit of jazz with some of my friends, and that's when I started like the professional side of my career in 2019. And so it's been a journey ever since. Now I'm gonna perform another one of my singles. This one's called Maybe I've Gone Crazy. Also, you can find it in all the digital platforms. All right, so hope you guys enjoy it. This song is actually released before Texas in the Heart, so it's, you know, they're really close together.
Maybe I've gone crazy.
for her, no. Thank you very much. So, I wrote that song when I lived in Houston first. So this is when I started. This is how I met Texas. I was actually during the pandemic when all my shows got canceled. I started to work in whatever job I could find, and I ended up in Louisiana, working in Lake Charles, right? And my idea was like, yeah, I'm gonna tour Louisiana. I'm gonna see so many good places. Wasn't as expected as I was, thinking it was gonna be. So I had a friend that lived in Houston. It's a musician friend, and he went out and he invited me, and I drove all the way to Houston, and I absolutely loved it. I've always, since the moment I walked into the highway, I was like, wow, this is Texas, this is awesome. So, I immediately packed up my things back in Miami, and I moved to Houston, where I lived for 8 months. So on the way back, I wrote Texas in my heart. So when I was going back to Miami, the original song was written in Spanish, but when I was ready to release it, like 4 or 5 months ago, I decided to rewrite it in English. The original was, always in, the original intent was always in Spanish, so it was kind of like a challenge to me, but I was able to get it done. So in that same trip, I wrote Maybe I've Gone Crazy, right? And so it's a very personal song to me, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Now I'm gonna sing a very old song. So this song, I wrote it probably when I was 20 years old. Yeah, I had to be 21. And I wrote it in the parking lot of Miami-Dade College. So I used to go to the jazz practice room with my friends. We used to jam out there. And the friend that started the duo Terra, that's how, the name came out. Me and her, we were kind of like getting into practicing together, and we brought a loop pedal to the parking lot of Miami-Dade College, and this song came out right out of the loop. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and this one is Pierdo la Calma. ¿Cuántos aromas caben dentro de tu piel? ¿Cuántos segundos me quedan? ¿Cuántos aullidos salen una por placer? ¿Cuánto de mí te llena? Bajo el velo estelar, sobre un suelo de rocas, entre oídos que no alcanzaban a escuchar los gemidos que desde tu boca comenzaban a escapar. Y es que no hay nada que ocultar, no hay nada que callar, si ya estamos desnudos los dos. Déjate llevar por la imaginación, que yo me dejaré llevar por el sonido de tu voz, por la humedad dentro de ti, por el calor de tu sudor que se desliza sobre mí. Es que pierdo la calma cuando no estás aquí, temblando en mi cama, la muerte en éxtasis. Es que pierdo la calma cuando no estás aquí, temblando en mi cama, la muerte en éxtasis. Necesito oír tu voz y te espero sin más, porque sé que cuando tú regreses a mi vida todo cambiará y esa sombra que dejó tu ausencia de nuevo se iluminará. Y es que no hay nada que ocultar, no hay nada que callar, si ya estamos desnudos los dos. Déjate crisis. Es que pierdo la calma cuando no estás aquí, arropando mi alma, haciéndome sentir. Thank you very much. So, this next song, I haven't released it yet. Most likely gonna be part of this album that I'm recording. It's gonna be completely just guitar and vocals. So it's something funny. I recorded almost all the vocals. I always, you know, since I do my own productions, I always give it some time to refresh the ear. Then I go back and listen to the mix. And I didn't like what I did, so I'm re-recording the vocals again. So it's taking me longer than what I wanted to do. But you know, I take pride in what I do, so I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So, but the album is coming out sooner or later. But in between, I'm always releasing singles. So this song is gonna be part of the album, so it's, you know, it's not anywhere. But I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Okay, it's called Tan Curioso es el Azar. El azar que te puso en mi camino, quizás ya se cansó la soledad, amigos todavía hay que. Tengo un buen presentimiento, igual que el de aquella vez. Por favor, cuídame, que no quiero resbalarme y caerme nuevamente en el contén. Ay, amor, mírame, solo déjame acercarme, que tu risa y tu belleza me hacen bien. A tu lado no me acuerdo del ayer, como me gustaría enamorarme de mujer y perderme entre tus labios y tu piel. Las horas son eternas desde el día en que te oí cantar y no sé por qué será, pero todo tiene más sentido y el silencio es un castigo mortal. Por favor, sálvame, que me ahogo en el tormento de la espera que es volverte a ver. Ay, amor, mírame, solo déjame acercarme, que tu risa y tu belleza me hacen bien. A tu lado no me acuerdo del ayer, como me gustaría enamorarme de mujer y perderme entre tus labios y tu piel. El azar, que solo pienso en ti desde aquella noche en que te conocí. Hey, and that's it, guys. I'm gonna do my last one, right? And thank you very much for inviting me. But before I do so, I want to invite you guys to an event that I always do. So if you want to find me live doing my performance, I kind of like do a loop show. It's a loop pedal show. I'm multi-instruments, so instrumentalist, multi-instrumentalist, right? So what I do is I bring to the stage bass, percussions, guitar, right? And then I invite other musicians, friends of mine. So I always have a special guest, either musicians or songwriters, right? This event is called La Peña, and I do it every third Friday of the month here in Create Arlington, which is a couple of blocks down the street. All right, right now it's just donation based. I don't have an entrance fees, whatever you want to donate, just to keep that going. I've been doing that for the last 8 months. I've had many invited guests of original songwriters, you know, from the DFW area. Right there, you're gonna see me more with a loop show. I mean, it's kind of like a very interesting theme, and I play multiple instruments, and you know, it's always nice if you guys wanna show up and support the local Arlington scene. I really love this city. I've been living here for almost a year now. I'm very grateful for every opportunity. So thank you guys for bringing me on. And this one that I'm going to sing now is a traditional Cuban song. Okay, Cuban song is the mother root of salsa, and it has a clave that is 2 by 3. And it goes That's a Cuban clave, right? And based around that, you create bongos, congas, maracas. Then you do a bass line, and the bass line always go with the groove of the clave. And then you have guitar and tres. And tres is an original guitar. It's kind of like a high guitar. It has 6 strings, but there are 3 pairs. So they're like, I don't know, kind of like, you know, how you see the double guitars. Imagine that, but with 6 strings something, right? 3 doubles. And it's a very peculiar instrument because it's a guitar a little smaller, it's high, but the tone, it has a string still. So you can play the traditional Cuban music, but you can also play jazz very well. So it's something that we do in Cuba. We kind of like took the jazz and we incorporated it into our original music, and that's where Latin jazz came from. When the revolution took over, jazz wasn't allowed to be played in Cuba because it was music from the United States, and that had to be prohibited in communist countries. So what the musicians did to turn around this nonsensical idea that the commander-in-chief came about with, they were like, okay, so you only want us to play Cuban music, so we're gonna play Cuban music and we're gonna put jazz in it. And that's how Latin jazz came about, right? So I kind of like inclined to that style. It's a really amazing idea that the Cuban musicians have back in the day. So hope you guys enjoy it. This one is called Rainstorm, which means aguacero, and it's the latest single that I released. You can find it on my Spotify, in my, you know, in the YouTube channel as well. Okay. And if you know how to dance, aguacero, llévatela ya, de la ya. No hay consuelo, la vida se me va. Aguacero, llévatela ya, de la ya. No hay consuelo, la vida se me va. La vida se me va. No logro deshacerme del sentimiento de que el amor intenso pero fugaz. Quiero pasar la página de este cuento, pues demasiado triste su final. Yo quiero la alegría brotando de mi cuerpo, quiero bailar la rabia hasta olvidar. Transmutar en versos en arrepentimiento, sentir la magia de volverme a enamorar. Aguacero, llévatela ya, de la ya. No hay consuelo, la vida se me va. Aguacero, llévatela ya, de la ya. La vida se me va. No logro deshacerme apartarme del sentimiento. No entiendo muchas cosas, la verdad. Quisiera la respuesta de tal misterio para vivir en paz con mi pesar. Me acompaña en las noches con su silencio, la damisela que me vio llorar. Aquella fiel a todo momento, ella se llama Soledad. Aguacero, llévatela ya, la ya. No hay consuelo, la vida se me va, se me va, se me va. Aguacero, llévatela ya, de la ya, de la ya, de la ya. No hay consuelo, la vida se me va, la vida se me va. Aguacero, llévatela ya, de la ya. No hay consuelo, la vida se me va, la vida se me va. Thank you. So see you guys on